Hello and welcome to this session, and today we are joined by Honorable Gideon Mwiti Irea, Member of Parliament in Menti Central 2013-2017, and today it's all about matters Kenya, matters Africa, matters global, but we choose to focus on issues of interest rate capping as well as SGR. Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you, Florence, for having me in this session.
Yes, good to have you on this session. But
Yes.
let's start with the issue at hand, the interest cap rating. You were in the last Parliament, 2013-2017.
Yes.
Do you still hold true to that? Was it actually wise to pass the interest capping rate?
When the interest rate capping was, the bill was debated in Parliament and passed and the President approved it, it was towards the 2017 general election.
Yes.
And this also touched the communities everywhere.
Yeah.
That now banks will give money, loans to people at lower interest rates.
Yes.
It was a good tool for everyone in Parliament, including the President and the Deputy. But the implications after that are so many.
Yes.
Because one, those people who had invested in Kenya and put money at a higher interest rate than the one that the central bank pulled out their money from the Kenyan economy, including money in the Nairobi Stock Exchange. So the effects were felt across board.
Yeah.
Also, banks were not able to release money to Ronis as before, because banks release money according to the risk involved.
Yeah.
So when you are a high-risk customer, they will give you money at high interest rate. But with the interest rate capping, they are not able to extend the interest rate. Number two, the people with money in various countries, Britain, America, China, Spain, some would like to bring their money here to earn bigger interest than where the capping stands. So they would like to bring money here at 12%, 13%, 14%. And a bank or an institution that may want to have money that they will pay in a short time may take money even as high as 17%. But they know where they are putting that money to recoup it and pay. That could not occur with the interest rate cappings. That's why when the President the bill was taken to the President to approve that banks should continue, the central bank should continue having the interest rate capping, the President refused and said, let this bill go back to Parliament. And I'm sure the Kenyan Parliament today, if they want the economic growth to be seen in this country, they need to remove the interest rate capping so that banks are able to have a free way of lending money. You may want to borrow money at 16% and pay back, and probably you are a high-risk customer. The bank may lend you. But when they have a restriction that you should not pass that interest rate, then banks are not able to lend out money as freely as when the interest rate cappings are not there. At the same time, there will be now traders all over the world wanting to bring their money in an economy where they are able to negotiate rates with banks and other institutions, and even at the Nairobi Stock Exchange. So immediately, Parliament passes this bill by saying that we have removed the interest rate capping. That will be good for the economy. Number two, when such bills are passed, they are passed without the stakeholders' contribution. When a bill like that is being discussed, it is important for the committee in the finance committee in Parliament to call banks representatives, to call the Kenyan Bankers Association, to call the Central Bank of Kenya, because their money, they are informed in money matters, so that they discuss together with the Nairobi Stock Exchange also, people from Nairobi Stock Exchange, so that they agree. Do we need interest rate capping? If the answer is no, from the players, the key players in the money market, then Parliament should not pass a bill which puts them under strict lock and key on the way to do money business. Therefore, I congratulate President Uhuru Kenyatta for saying that let this bill be discussed further.
Let's talk about allocation of our budgets. Do you think roads and other infrastructure projects should take a huge chunk of our budget?
What I may say here is that the budgetary allocations in Parliament, I think livestock and agriculture should take higher allocations than any other ministry. Because one, we need to bring the economy from the grassroots. Where people are able to grow cotton, it is sold, most of it is absorbed here, and the rest is absorbed in overseas, and we get foreign exchange. The tea industry needs to be revamped. The coffee industry needs to be revamped so that we are able to get foreign exchange. Groundnut industry needs to be, money needs to be put there for us to make money out of it. Because if you look at the containers coming from China, coming from Japan, they all come here loaded with goods. But when they are going back, you don't find like 1,000 containers from China come here, but we load at least 10 or 5 containers back. So we need to move from a consuming economy to an exporting economy, where we are also able to feed the other people all over the world. We cannot just be consuming and doing things domestically here. We need to think outside the box and know that when containers come to Kenya, the only good thing we can do to Kenyans is also to have goods to export, to go back, filled in those containers. We can only be receiving. We will not have money to pay. Because what is happening now is the dollar will be chased by those imports. When we import, we pay in dollars. So that's why you see the dollar going up all the time. It's not going down. It can only go down if we become exporters and not importers. So what I'm saying, the kind of money being used for infrastructure, like the SGR, is so much money that probably would have been used to grow agriculture, to go into mining, to go into other activities that sends goods through those containers, that bring goods, they send back goods in those containers to those countries. Then we will have foreign exchange. It's like you are only eating. So if you are only eating, you have to support the eating. And supporting the eating is very, very difficult. So Kenya we should stop thinking about the major projects and think about what impacts, what projects can we do that will impact directly to the common person in Meru, to the common person in Kisumu. If money was put to have to process fish from Kisumu to overseas, then there is foreign exchange. If cotton industry, money was pumped in the cotton industry and we export cotton, there is money back here. If the tea industry did not have issues, then we would have money here. But at the same time, the government per se may not be the institution making mistakes. It is us. Because one, look at KPCU. KPCU was not grounded by the government. It is our own people. Here we had problems in National Bank. It was not Uhuru Kenyatta or William Ruto, grounded back by our own people. East Africa Portland, grounded down by our own people. Kenya Airways, I can mention as many as possible. So what we need to do is to think about what will assist Kenyans down at the ground. Because if an institution like National Bank was able to operate profitably and bring 4, 5, 6 billion in a year, then it will keep on growing. It will even spread out to other countries. If Kenya Airways was not making losses, then it would be giving money to the exchequer. East Africa Portland Cement would be doing the same. So what I'm saying is we need to look at what is happening here on the ground, not the super highways, not the SGR. First, we think of the foundation. Because even when KICC was being put up, a lot of money was spent in the foundation. And if you go to many places where houses, 40 stories, 25 stories are being put up, the foundation is dug. They spent time digging the foundation. So the foundation of improving the Kenyan economy is the Kenyan people identifying projects that are grassroots. Yes. The Kenyan economy as at now is sick. Probably it has not gone to the ICU, but it is sick. And this sickness is a sickness that can last for some time. Because when you look at the Rift Valley, people grow maize and they say maize lot in the stores. We need a government, a Ministry of Agriculture that is very sensitive on what the farmers are doing in this country. So that this maize is eaten in Kenya and there is surplus for bilateral trade. Bilateral trade, I mean where we can sell this maize to neighboring countries and other countries in Africa. So when you say the economy is growing like the way some quarters I hear the economy is growing, I can tell you for sure, so many people in this country today are not feeling that growth. What they are feeling is that they don't have money. And now you cannot say the economy is growing. The economy may be growing, but at high head. And we don't want high-end economic growth. We want economic growth that the moderate citizen in this country, the small person in this country, the mwananchi, that for that matter, is feeling the growth of the economy. The coffee industry is almost dead. There are problems in the tea industry. So why do you say the economy is growing? The miraa industry in Meru is dead. So when you say there is growth in the economy, I think that statement is misplaced. There is no growth. So this economy is sick, needs treatment.
Honorable Mwiti, you've rightly said that we are not yet at the ICU. If you were to be told to maybe advise the government on the remedies, what do we need to do to salvage our economy?
To salvage our economy, first, there are some projects which were started 5-10 years ago. They were just started and nothing has been going on. And the blame is on the contractors. The contractors have no problem. They have not been paid. So if you pay contractors, they will do the work. So I would request that instead of going for money to start new infrastructure projects, we first finish the ones that were started a long time, 4, 5, 10 years ago, so that these projects are complete and the government opens them and says, this project we started this time, it is now complete. But now borrowing money to start new projects, which will be left underway, that's one of the biggest mistakes that the Kenyan government is making on the development agenda. Yes.
Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa.
Yes.
Those were amazing insights on what is happening currently in the country.
Yes. Thank you. I hope this message will reach where it's supposed to be.